Peace and blessings, everybody. How's everybody doing out there? Y'all doing okay? I pray so. It's been feeling okay. A lot of rain over here on this East Coast, in this DC area. We had 70s last week, but look, when that spring gonna come in full force, that's what we waiting for. I wanted to come to you all today, just a real quick piece. Of gratitude, of appreciation, as I do, sometimes, because it's sincereness from the heart. Like I say, it's a lot of podcasts out there, a lot of YouTube channels, and you all could be, watching everybody else or anybody else that may do just that. But I definitely appreciate your time and dedication to my own. Tomorrow I'll have a video out. It's a tale. And it's a rough one. There's a lot of savagery in prison. Matter of fact, I might tell it, now. And this is because I watch a lot of guys come home. I'm aware of a lot of guys who are home. And some I have bonds with, I knew them inside and I knew them well. And they're doing good and they're doing right by the people they're with, whether they're female relationships or their families, and they're doing right by them. But I know some guys in there who were savages, real savages. And many of us, not all of us, but many of us got locked up because we, did some savagery, myself included, shooting and stuff like that. So I don't minimize it. But there are those that, their behavior, if they are home now, they should be watched, because some people enjoyed what they became in prison, right? So this tale real quick. I was coming from the chow hall. It was like about 5 o'clock in the morning, and we coming from the chow hall, and it was a guy. He was downstairs. He'd been known for a long time to mess with homosexuals. Long time. He's a big, muscular guy. Work out every day. He can fight. He holds his own. He got into a few knife fights and whatnot. So people respect him. Even though messing with homosexuals in prison is still taboo. It is still frowned upon by the majority, because it is not something that, people agree with, coming up from an older culture, from whether Islamic or Christian understanding with regard to the Bible and the Quran and just laws that we were given, through scripture. People just come up in these understandings and these cultures, and so it's still frowned upon. It's still not widely accepted in prison. But there are those who, when they engage, their reputation of fighting and stabbing is almost like forced people to, give them respect begrudgingly. Now, behind these guys' back, man, this dude mess with boys, man. I'm not rocking with this clown. This dude a punk. This dude a punk lover. I mean, this is the language. Forgive me, I'm not trying to offend anybody, but this is the language inside, and this goes on behind the guys' backs. But in their face, what's up, man? What's up? Yeah, whoa, so forth. So this guy, he was known for, having a love, and the love he had in the cell, he was pretty abusive to him. Kind of small guy. And upstairs, a guy had moved in to our part. And this guy came from another clan, real dark-skinned guy, kind of young, to be honest with you. And, was laid back. He wasn't no fighting type. He'll talk that talk. He wasn't no fighting type. He was real, muscular, worked out all the time, though. But, and he was conscious, talked about studying and reading a million books and whatnot. But there was a trail of rumors behind him. So when he landed on our Camp Nottoway, word was he had engaged in homosexual activity, at one time or another. And so when we found out, myself and a couple guys, that he had gotten cool with, we asked him, you do this, you do that, you involved in this, you involved in it. They was like, nah. So, we presented him with the situations at these other camps. He was like, nah, this guy was jealous, or this guy didn't like me. I was dealing with this dude who was gay, who used to bring me the drugs, from visits and so forth. So, all right, but he received the homosexual from downstairs in his cell. And the guy downstairs, the muscular guy who, was known for fighting and stabbing, he had, kind of relinquished the guy. And I mean, as crazy as this stuff sounds, this is real relationship issues type, you know, toxic. So the homosexual left out the cell downstairs, went to the hole, stayed back there a little while, came out. He's upstairs now, pod in the cell with this guy. So the guy's telling dudes that know him because, again, he's adamant about not messing with homosexuals. So guys at him, you know, you ain't messing with this dude. You ain't messing with me. You ain't messing with him. So, you know, like say the language is, man, you ain't messing with the boy. You ain't messing with the boy. And he like, nah. He just want to learn and study. And he just wanted to leave downstairs because dude was just, you know, roughing him off every night, beating him up. You know what I'm saying? Just forcing him, you know, to be in a relationship. And he didn't want that. So he had asked, the homosexual had asked, and all of them are homosexuals, right? The givers and the takers. So don't think that I don't understand that. But the guy who's playing the female in the relationship, he had asked the guy downstairs for a can of tobacco, about this big. It's a can of tobacco to make some money. So the guy downstairs give it to him, you know, with understanding that he would receive a certain, because guys would take the tobacco, put it in these little cigarettes, roll them up, and sell them, I think, for $1 each. And in that big can, you get a lot of money. So I think, you know, I don't know how much you get, but, you know, he had said he would do that. So evidently he didn't honor that. So I guess a week or so went past. And so this is where this comes in. The guy downstairs had heard who he was in the cell with upstairs. He didn't feel he was a threat. He didn't, because the guy, the homosexual, the female in the relationship was telling the guy downstairs, like, look, I don't mess with him. I'm just in the cell. I'm trying to get back down there to you. The COs locked me up for coming out the chow hall with food on me, and I was just arguing with the police. So that's why they moved me, but I didn't move on my own. This is what he's telling the guy downstairs, that which is not true. He checked in to get upstairs. So fast forward, you know, we coming from child. So everybody's coming from child. So the guy downstairs, like, he's about 6'3". You know, he's tall, like, say, muscular guy. Homosexual is about this, is like 5'4", maybe, little. So the guy up in his face. And it's about 30, 40 of us coming from the child. We come to the stairs, you got to come up one stairs, and it's a little flat walkway. And then you go up another stairs, and you know, you go to the pods, C building or D building. So they're on the little flat. And like I say, because it's early in the morning, like 5 o'clock, it's dark, no COs. There's usually one officer on the rec yard, on the boulevard down by the, where the mailboxes are. Rarely are they in the hallways in the building, which makes it extra dangerous because it's early, dark, you know, so that's where a lot of things happen in the hallways. So the homosexual guy, the female in the relationship, him and the guy, you know, the guy arguing with him, man, you took my tobacco. You feeding this dude upstairs, you feeding this clown, because that's, you know, it was a relationship. So you feeding him, you know what I'm saying? You took my money and you feed him, da, 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 da. So guys are walking past, so the little guy like, no, I'm not doing that. I wouldn't do that. I'm coming downstairs. I don't even mess with him. And this is no lie. By this time, I'm already, you know, me and about, like, say, 30 guys, we watching, and people try to mind their business, because that's that. Guys inside getting the fights and killed behind the relationships that they're in. That's a known fact. I know a guy that got 100 extra years over a period of time for 13 stabbings involving, you know, homosexual relationships. So they take that seriously, you know. So we're all going. So when I get to the second row of stairs, you hear pop. So everybody kind of, you know what I'm saying, you already know, you know, what's kind of happening. He didn't hit the, you know, homosexual. So everybody kind of looking over the stairs, kind of squeeze and look down in the little rails. And this is no lie. And I say this as sad as it is, I say this honestly. And I say this because even then, I'm not gonna lie, I had a heart, you know what I'm saying? And you know, as wild as I could have been, and the foolishness that got me in prison and whatnot, you know, for anybody, you know, I didn't like savagery committed to them unless, and I don't like pedophiles. I don't like rapists. I don't have a lot of sympathy for them, if any. You know, I'm just being honest. I know too many people who've been raped, who've been molested, who are suffering from these things, man, mentally and emotionally, to really sympathize with those who've done it. Now, don't get me wrong, those who did that, likely they too have been victims, right? So there's a lot of healing that needs to be involved, a lot of therapy that needs to be involved, but many of them continue to live that lifestyle and that way of life, and, you know, with little regard to anybody else's emotions or feelings or well-being. So we look, you know, we heard the pop, the punch. We look, the guy downstairs has his, his member, in the guy's mouth. He didn't hit him and knocked him down and put himself in the guy's mouth, right? Yeah. And so he's doing that. And everybody minding, but everybody going upstairs. And you just see it like dudes walking up the stairs. They're turning their back to the situation. And this is 5 o'clock, 5:10 in the morning, right? In prison, not away, right? So, later on, the homosexual gets mad at the guy he's in the cell with. Because that guy, he's not a fighter. He'll talk that talk, but he's not a fighter. He's not going to go up against the one downstairs. And so they're arguing, like, literally, you can hear him in the pod arguing, you know what I'm saying? You can get out, and da-da-da-da-da, like, you hear a little, so they're moving stuff around the cell, probably just, holding each other and wrestling. But, I say all that to say that two things that I thought about that day was, one, when you engage in a lifestyle, whether criminal, relationships, when you embark upon these things, you have to be very, very careful with how you carry it and who you're engaged in. See, that's one of the problems with us, myself included. I had co-defendants. I was a co-defendant, like 5 of us in my case and 4 of the victims, right? So, a lot of time when we engage, most of the guys in prison, honestly, most of the guys that I knew had co-defendants. And someone told, right? Someone told on me. And I know the guy that did it, he was out. He only did 3 years at the beginning, and he didn't have any, gun case or anything like that. He just got time as a juvenile. He did 3 years and he came home. He's been home for the whole time I was incarcerated, except for, like I said, the first 2 or 3 years. It is what it is, because, like I say, when you engage in that lifestyle, you can look around and blame the world for all the wrongs that happened to you as a result of the failing of whatever lifestyle you've chosen. But when you look in that mirror, this is where accountability comes in. You have to say, 1, first, I was living wrong, right? 2, I was dealing with the wrong type of people, right? And 3, I have to also take this into account. That's why when in the Army, they train you in the desert. They train you in swamps. They train you in forests and jungles and urban. They train you because these are contingency plans in the event. So if you're living a lifestyle and, wrong and criminal and you get locked up, you have no money. So you're begging family for money. You're begging family to answer the phone. You're begging family for visits. The reality is we didn't consider any of that while we out there ripping and running the street. If we did, it was only for a moment. It was only to say, oh, if I get locked up, it is what it is. I can do that. Yeah, it sounds slick. That sounds, brave, but that's not the reality. You have to literally sit in prison for years and years because you robbed a store and got $100, maybe got 1,000. That's going to be gone the minute you get locked up, and they're probably going to get you within the first 2 months. So you did what? And you telling all your roommates how you ran up in the store, you pull out the hammer, your dude was scared, and all the while you're on the phone, asking mama for some money, asking your girl for some money, asking your friend for some money, asking people to keep it real. True. Last night, 1 o'clock, I get a text from inside prison. No lie. I could actually show it on my phone. No lie. One of the guys I rock with, 1 o'clock in the morning, text me. 1 o'clock in the morning, text me and asked me for $150. So I'm like, and he's inside, and I'm like, call me, okay. So he did. I'm going to cover up the number because I don't want nobody. And this is from inside. This is no lie. Hey, bro, Khaled, sorry, I need a favor. I ain't reached out. Can you send, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's 1 o'clock in the morning, right? But that's a little brother I do deal with, So he called me, hiding up under the covers and talking while his roommate is on the door. And he's basically, telling me about how some money got messed up and, he owes a few dollars. He's trying to put some money in this situation to quail the problem, right? And so, I sent his people, a couple dollars. But I told him how hard it was out here. I said, man, my car has been acting up. My shifting gear mechanism jumped off. The bushing was bad. The shifting gear was loose. Man, that was like, the parts alone, the gear shifting linkage. That's like $100 and something. putting it in is like $150, $200, you know? So it's like a lot of little things. I'm letting them know. I'm like, you in there, you supposed to be coming home next year and you in here chasing a couple of nickels, man. You got a job in there. Fall back from that lifestyle, from any ignorance that you may be engaged in. So it's real. Like I just got a phone call today from one of my brothers, man, Deuce. You know, y'all hear me talk about him. You know, you look him up on Facebook. Kenneth Hunter from Lynchburg, rap phenom. He just performed somewhere down in Appomattox, Virginia. He's nice. And he was telling me that a young guy I know, you know, named Trey from DC/Dansville, you know, young soldier, good dude, laid back, you know, makes mistakes, got in some trouble. And he wake up 2 nights ago and his roommate off of meth is biting him, like scratching him and biting him. He wakes up, he fighting, they fighting. The roommate wind up dead. Now he facing the murder charge, man. Inside the prison, he already had 55 under the new law and had only done 15 years of that thus far. That means he has to do another, he has to do out of 55 under the new law, he has to do at least 50. And now you got this situation. But the guy was off meth, maybe he died from a heart attack, and Trey was defending himself because he was asleep when he woke up to a man biting him. You know, so this is some real stuff, man, I deal with. And I ain't, you know, a lot of the stuff that's out here is real. You know, one of the guys I rock with got married to a woman 2 years ago, locked up. He's out now, been home for 7 months, came home to the woman, kept it real with her. It didn't work. You know what I'm saying? He say he hit 2 deers in 2 days because he goes to work and comes from work late at night. He lives way down in the boonies, somewhere down by Kentucky somewhere. And he was like, big bro, it's hard out here. He's like, man, sometimes I think about, you know, like, wow, what am I out here for? He like, but then I dig a little deep and realize I'm not trying to get child call, canteen call, right? So I say that to say that, you know, it's real, right? It's real. And it's just hard, you know. So for those who are writing those locked up, please continue to encourage them. Those who may be watching this that are locked up, stop wasting your time playing around, arguing with the officers. Stop begging people on the street for money, and stop blaming everybody. Though there may be components that contributed to your being in that situation, being the person you are. I'm not knocking that. I'm not denying that. You know, we are products of our environment. However, that is the power of the will that is blessed, that we've been blessed with, that God blessed us with, the power of the will. And we can do what we want. So even inside, you can pick a book up, you can study, you can learn how to read, write, you can become an author and your motivational speaker, a tutor. You can become a million things from inside a prison. It's being done every day, all day, and has been for a long time. So dig deep, you know, keep striving to do and be better. And for those out here, like, you know, just keep appreciating the day, man. Like I say, people dying every day, somehow, corona, old age, you know, death, murder, you know, it's a million things going on out here, man. So we have to truly appreciate the beauty of life. And if that means just to walk around the neighborhood, cool. That means sitting there watching a funny movie just to laugh, that, you know, cool. If it means calling somebody you love, cool. You know what I'm saying? If it just means writing, reading, listening to some music, you know, talking to the Most High, meditating, man, appreciate life, because it's definitely not promised. And like I said, short-lived when it's all said and done, you know. So thank you all for, you know, watching this. Thank you all for just, like I say, you know, rolling with me. You know what I mean? I'm a simple person. I'm striving and I'm doing the best I can, you know, and I want to be more and do more for, you know, our community and our youth, you know, and our people just in general. So I appreciate you all for always encouraging me. Take care, stay safe, stay up, and at it. Peace.